Welcome, welcome to Find You Fridays with me, Lorene. I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you've had a fabulous week. It's been pretty hot here. Pretty damn hot. and I'm very, very, very happy that the temperature has finally cooled off. And by a cool change, I mean it's like when I looked at the temperature gauge, it was about 27 degrees about an hour ago. So very, very happy for the cool change. The house is airing out. It's like, yay, happy days. Hello, Holly. How have you been? How are things over in your corner of the world? Because holy moly, it got hot here. It was so very hot. And I don't know if I think you're following me on Facebook and stuff, but yeah, certainly it was a stinker. It was a stinker. And I was very, very glad to be home today, just relaxing. How's things been going in your world this week with all the temperatures and things? I did see a quick news report earlier today that the heat hasn't stopped in Adelaide. It's carried on down through Victoria and over to New South Wales, and now they're dealing with quite a lot of repercussions from that, bushfires and things like that, which is obviously adding to the heat. Hello, Edwina. So yeah, that's I hope that they manage to get on top of all of that. We don't need another big, huge, bad bushfire season, even though we know the gum trees require it. It's never nice to go through something like that, for sure. You know, I'm always a little bit cautious with news reports because they quite often, while it is bad, they'll quite often hyper exaggerate certain things. So I keep a tab, but not too close. And, you know, it would be pretty shocking to have to emergency evacuate your home and then suddenly you go back, and when you go back, your home's gone, you know. So, so sending my thoughts and prayers out to those bushfire, etc., affected people. You know, just as much as all my friends were sending me lots of cool wishes while I was working. Yeah. I'm glad it's cooler for you too, Edwina, now. Hi, Melinda. How did you cope? I had, I know you saw my post up in Facebook from Wednesday. So for those of you who don't follow that or don't really look at Facebook or whatever, it just doesn't show on your newsfeed, whatever. On Wednesday, I had a 8 o'clock start, which was just delightful, in the city on a 3-story townhouse. So 3 sets of steps. Luckily, that particular shift had good aircon, but the steps are there's just so many steps. And the steps are carpeted as well. If you ever get steps, please don't carpet your steps. I know they're great for sound insulation and stuff, but oh my God, they're a pain in the ass to clean. And then the shift after that, which is half an hour later, was a 4-hour shift, and it was at a storage warehouse where it has 2 stories, and they decided that would be the perfect day to do the upstairs part of all the flooring, which is basically as close to the roof as you can go. And there's no aircon up there. You do get a bit of air movement, but it was like being at the arse end of a dryer. And I was up there doing vacuuming and mopping for 3.5 hours because her first 15-20 minutes was cleaning the bathroom. So I drank, and then the last shift of the day was a 2-story downhouse where the aircon really didn't work at all. So it was a really, really fucking hot day. I came home and I was just quite honestly cooked. I drank, not including the 1 liter I have in the morning when I first get up, I drank 4 liters of fluid. 3 of that was water. My beautiful 9.5 pH with a little bit of salt in there in each bottle. 3 liters of that was water. The other 1 liter was juices, just to help cool me down. And a cup of tea, and like a big cup of tea, and the other part of my coffee. So that was just while I was out, and then I drank like another liter when I got home. So overall I drank 6 liters of fluid, and at the end of the night it was still coming out as if I was dehydrated. So go figure. Yeah. Melinda said, I'm so glad it's cooler here now. The aircon at work didn't survive. Oh no. We had customers asking why we didn't have it on, but it is evaporative and is very old. Oh well, it's cooler now, thank goodness. Yes, exactly. Thank goodness. It was just too hot. Too hot. Yesterday was a little bit easier. But yesterday, as some of you saw, I got to with my temperature gun that I use for my snake enclosure. And when I do checks on that, there was one of the parts of my car on the inside, so the door panel on the inside, that at 5:30 at night was a temperature reading of 65 degrees Celsius. 65. Like, holy guacamole, that's just nuts, you know. No wonder I hop in the car and I'm like, even the bonnet outside was 50, and that was after sitting there for 3 hours. So it wasn't like the engine was hot or anything. So outside it was 50, inside it was 65. So keep that in mind if you have people like kids or animals. I think we're past that now. But keep that in mind if you decide to keep your kids or animals in the car while you duck into the shops. Yes, hot. Chamomile and spiced apple today in a different cup, just because. But anyway, enough about the weather. How have you all been? Apart from the weather, what fun things have you done? How do you be inside? We've now, got through the first week and a half of January, and I know for me, I feel really good today because I've had my bars run today, and I've got a fun story to tell you guys about that. A little bit of like a interesting story beforehand, but so yes, I've got a fun story to tell you about that. So I'm feeling very nice and light and peaceful now. I haven't had my bars run in quite a few months, so it was really, really lovely to catch up with my friend who I haven't seen in over a year, and yeah, it was beautiful. Really nice to give my massage table another workout. Alrighty, so there is one other thing that I would like to share with you, and this I will credit the writers of this. This is from The Pattern, but I thought this is actually something that's quite relevant for the majority of us, and so that's why I thought I'd read it out to you guys today. It says, the top of 2026, we are diving into deep intimacy, relational, emotional transformation. This might be a pretty intense moment for all of us because Venus reached her Kazemi with the sun on January the 6th, which was Monday. She was standing at this burning point where everything false about love and relationship and worthiness was being incinerated. On January 7th, she met up with Mars, and now it's Mars's turn to have a death and rebirth. Essentially, this is happening at the same time. It's within days of each other that the inner feminine and masculine, they're having this joint death and rebirth next to each other in the underworld, holding hands, going through this initiation together of releasing the old and the old way of taking action. This moment is incredibly rare. Mars is only conjunct with the sun every 2 years, and for it to coincide with Venus in the sign of Capricorn is even rarer. By working with this double Kazemi conjunction, so much magic can happen. With Mars in the underworld, we're being offered a reset on our masculine energy, our will, our drive, our capacity to take action in the world. It's asking you to be clear about what requires to die so that this healthier, more integrated masculine within you can be born. This is your moment to consciously rebuild the relationship between what you desire and how you do it. How you go about it, how you go after it between your ambitions and your authentic desires. The most magnetic thing you can do is be someone who knows their worth, honors their boundaries, and chooses connection from wholeness rather than lack. So there we go. Just thought I'd bring that into this because this Venus-Mars thing, I'm like, I absolutely feel that. And I'm thinking, Mars, the Aries, Mars and Aries is mixed together, like linked together. I'm an Aries. So and I'm a fire horse. So we've got the fire, the Mars, the fire horse, the everything. It's like, oh yeah, all about that balance with the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the birth, death stuff. It's like that all absolutely resonates for me. And I thought maybe it might for you too. Anywho, let me get our... Ooh, here's a question for you to have a little think about. What are the 3 best things that have ever happened in your life? Big question. So take your time. Take your time to answer that one. You might not need time. Oh, that's shifting some energy for some people. Lovely. I would like to know, what are your 3 best things that have happened in your life? Pop it in the chat. Here goes some of the birds again. Man, they were going bonkers this morning. It was the weirdest, it was the funniest thing because this big, huge, massive, I think they were cockatoos, but they might have been galahs, to be honest, because there seemed to be some bits of pink. But anyway, this big, huge flock of either cockatoos or galahs, and they were going all over in this big, huge swarm this morning. It woke me up out of my bed at 6:20 this morning, and I'm like, what the heck? I lay there for a while, and they were still going. So I grabbed my camera and I took some video footage of them. And they all went over to this one big tree, and they were all swirling around, trying to find their little spots. And it looked like they'd almost settled. And then all of a sudden, poof, they were up and off again. And all they came out and swirling over and around my place and then moving kind of back around. And it looked like some of them took off that way, past away from the tree. And then next thing you know, the majority of the flock was all going back, but not to the same big tree. They went over to this other group of smaller trees, but there were several of them. And that's where they eventually kind of seemed to settle. And the next thing you know, all these ones that had gone this way suddenly went poof back over that way. It was the funniest thing. But they were going at it like that for at least half an hour. And it was like the biggest, hugest community dispute I've ever seen. It was hilarious. Hi, Marriott. Beautiful is that? Let's get this cards going for this next week. So the 10th through to the 16th of January. Wow. What's the weather like in Sweden today? We're all in South Australia very, very relieved because we've just had a bunch of, anywhere between 40 and 46 degrees Celsius here over this week. It's been not so fun, but I do love to talk about the weather. It's something that everybody can relate to, whether they like it or not. Yeah. The funniest thing about that, or maybe not so funny, is that I couldn't have a shower when I got home because the majority of my pipes are poly pipes that are sitting on top of the ground because I live out on a farm. So I had to wait on Wednesday until about 9:30 at night to be able to have a shower because it was just too hot. Too hot. Snowy and much snow, not so cold, quite okay. It's wonderful with snow. I agree. I love the snow. Apparently the cough says otherwise. No, I actually grew up in New Zealand near some mountains in the central North Island, and in our winter time where I got to see the snow fairly often. And I've even experienced American snow, both in Nevada and New York. So, yeah. The funny thing about snow is unless there is wind chill, like unless it's windy, you don't really feel the cold. It's only when the wind picks up that you really start feeling the cold. That's what I found anyway. But in saying that, I was used to New Zealand weather at that time. Alrighty, so this week to come, let's see what we're up for. Okay. We have, interesting. What have we got coming up? So we've got on Sunday the 18th. So will be on the 16th, will be just into shadow period of the new moon. But that also means that at the moment we are in a waning moon. So it's about nurturing and nourishing. And it's about preparing, a lot of preparing energies at this time. So interesting that we are this range of cards that's come out for the collective for this week to come. We've got Amber. So the cards that I'm using at the minute are the Secret Language of Color cards from Ina Segal. And this one says, awaken your creativity. So this week to come, how are you choosing to be creative in your life? Have you acknowledged just how amazingly creative you are? And I have met many people who go, I'm not creative at all. I'm not an artist. You don't have to be artist to be creative. You could be somebody who's incredible about solving problems. That's creativity. You might be somebody who's amazing at doing spreadsheets or writing or maybe proofreading or something like that. That's also creativity. Right. So even mums who manage the running of a household, that's being really super creative too, because you've got to juggle so many things. So I'd like you to just have a little moment this week, the cards saying, have a little moment this week of tapping into and acknowledging how you are creative. You may also this week start getting some ideas about projects or things that you would like to maybe start having action on, not this week, but next week. Because this week to come will be in that nurturing, nourishment side of things, whereas next week after the new moon will be about the taking action side. Okay, so write down those clever ideas, start doing some prep, and see what else pops through. The next card that we've got is blue, which is activate your healing powers. So have you acknowledged that you have a role to play in the healing of the collective? If you haven't yet, perhaps this week is the time to do that. And please know and acknowledge each one of us has our unique brand of healing. Some people heal with just their presence. They make a room feel lighter. Some people heal with a smile. Some people heal with connection to spirit or source. Some people heal with their hands, with their body, like as an energy healer. Some people heal through food. Some people heal through the provision of stuff from their garden, for example. That all of that is healing, ways of healing. It's a way to connect from one person to the other, and they walk away feeling happier and lighter, even if it's just a little bit. Like a smile in a car park to somebody who suddenly goes, oh, you just made my absolute day. My friend, who is one of my soul sisters, she sent me a picture today because her Christmas card arrived. And she sent me a picture of all of the other cards that I have sent her over the years that she has saved because they are super special to her. And there was something in my heart that just went boom, boom. Oh, you just made my day, and it made me feel so good. So there was something in me that she helped heal today. And that something was probably the acknowledgement of my creativity and how I've shared it with her, and she's seen it as special. Because I don't assume that people hang on to the cards that I make. If they do, cool. If they don't, okay. But yeah, so there's something that she healed in me today. How cool is that? So. Marit just said, we heal the collective. Yes, I know. I have that in me so strongly. Therefore, I found you. Thank you. Marit, thank you. Cherry is our next card for the collective for this next week. And it says, live an extraordinary life. So my perspective on this has changed a lot over the years. And my perspective on the living an extraordinary life is it changes within what you desire and require. It can also change based on your friendship circle, and it can really change within you and the people around you. So, for example, I have a friend who absolutely loves the more luxurious things in life. And to her, camping, the way I do camping, is like the least luxurious, desirable thing in the world. She's someone, if she was camping, the closest she would ever get to camping is to go into a cabin in the woods. but it had to have a toilet and a shower and a, that would be the closest she would ever get to that. To me, and for her, an extraordinary life is traveling around the world, living in Italy. She doesn't live in Italy at the moment. Having more of the the digital nomad type lifestyle, but staying in very posh, fancy places and eating extremely good food. Whereas my extraordinary life is more like having more time in the simplicity and being with nature. And I get that for me, that is because I've spent so long in hypervigilance and survival mode that slowing down and being peaceful and just sitting in nature with a cup of tea is just so glorious. To me, that's something extraordinary to be able to do. So have a wee think this week. Maybe write it down and let me know next week. What is your version of an extraordinary life? Or you can even pop it into the chat right now if you like. Keep it current, because it's from kind of tomorrow onwards. What is your version of extraordinary life? Sure, I would love to go traveling and all that sort of stuff too. I love travel. And I love seeing things. But for me, when I travel even, I don't do like the big touristy stuff. I have absolutely zero desire for that. I love to do out of the way things. One of my asks when I went to New York, which I didn't get to do, was I'd really love to see a really old graveyard. Because there's so much history and energy and beautiful headstones and all that sort of thing. And funnily enough, I now have a YouTube channel that I follow that is to do with ancestry linking from things like photographs. And it's called Lost Lines or something like that. I haven't watched much of their stuff lately, but I was watching quite a lot of it for a while there. So yeah, interesting. Extraordinary life. What sort of things would be on your extraordinary life list? I'm curious to know. Let me know. Marat says, I think as you do. Simple enjoyments, birds, trees, silence, love. Yeah. The babbling brook, like not Christmas just gone, but the one before when I went camping on my own. I was in this absolutely gorgeous little wee valley, and that was on farmland, and in the bottom of the little valley was this creek that went through. And even in the summer, even though it was so hot, the creek was still running, and I was like, oh, wow. And then as I was sitting there doing meditations and stuff like that, there was butterflies floating around. Oh, it was gorgeous. I would have loved to have gone back again there this last Christmas. But Simon kind of wanted to go somewhere else, a little bit closer to the beaches and the bush. So that's where we ended up going a little bit further in to a different place, which was just as lovely, but almost as lovely. But it was quite private, and it was nice. Last card for the collective for this week to come is white, which is lighten up. So stop being so jolly harsh on yourself, okay? And ease up on those thoughts about your height, weight, finances, relationship, healing, wherever you think you're supposed to be in life. Please lighten up on yourself this week. Have a bit more gentle compassion for yourselves and just just let yourself just chill. Okay, so there's that. All right. That was very loud ding ding, so I'm sorry. I need to make that a little bit quieter. There we go. That will be better. Cool bananas. Tamara said there is a camping place near Brisbane that is glorious. As I drove in it, I felt like I was coming home. I could happily spend the rest of my life there. Yes, yes. That's the hard thing. And Tamara, you know, living in Adelaide, that it's one of the toughest things about living here is the dryness. Like even when we went to the bush, went to the stringy bark forest, lovely, lovely forest, ancient forest. And there's plenty of ferns and tall trees and stuff like that. But there's just not quite the same feel as what it is in New Zealand or the upper Queensland areas, you know, Noosa and stuff like that, where it's rainforest up there. We just don't have the rainfall for it. We have beautiful forests, or bush, but they're just not. They're not lush. I was actually able to talk with a gentleman from South Africa / Zimbabwe this week, and he'd spent a couple of years in New Zealand traveling around, and he actually knew exactly where I grew up, which was, it's quite unusual. and he totally, when I said, you know, bush here is not bush, and he goes, I absolutely agree, because he used to do mountain biking and throughout New Zealand bush, and yeah. So it was nice to actually speak to somebody who knew New Zealand as such. What is our overall theme for this week to come is to be open-hearted. Okay. Keep that seems to be a big theme for this year. I'm going to say that because so much of what we're going to be going through as a collective is, you know, like I was reading before, it's a lot of just burning up all that old shit, getting rid of it. Relationships that you might have maybe been able to kind of put up with, etc. No more. So yeah, interesting. Tamara, we have all struggled with the heat. We have struggled. So yeah, it's not been an easy week, especially Tuesday with Thursday. It was not fun. Today, much better. Much cooler, sort of low 30s, and it was already down to about 27 nearly an hour and a half ago. So a nice cool change. The house is all opened up, and you know, it's lovely. Chris Fabish is from where I am and is also a healer. Are you talking Adelaide, South Australia, or are you talking New Zealand? Hi, Julie. Hope you're doing super well. So today I have a funny story to tell you. Funny, haha, funny, interesting, funny, weird. All of the above. So this is something that I only just talked about with my soul sister this week. It's something that's been going on for months, like probably a good 6 months or maybe even longer. Cool. New Zealand. Awesome. I'm not familiar with Chris Fabish, but that's beautiful. There's a lot of healing people in New Zealand. Births a lot. And this lovely little thing has been going on in the back of my mind. And the reason why I'm going to come here to tell you about it today is not only is the story really lovely in the end, even though it's got kind of grim storylines. So in the back of my mind for the last 6 months or so has been this thought of, I have to make sure that my bed is made, my dishes are done, and my floors are tidy before I leave the house. Because what if I die when I leave up while I'm out, and somebody has to come into my house and they discover that my bed is unmade, or I have dirty dishes in the sink or in my house, or my floors are untidy. That's the crux of what has been running the show in the back of my head for about 6 months. And it really ramped up this last probably 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm just like, where the fuck is this coming from? Excuse the language, but like, I don't feel like I'm going to die. I'm not unwell. Not like that. And so I was talking about it with my soul sister this week. I admitted that this is something that was going on. We had a bit of a conversation about it, sort of unpicked a little bit of it, sort of from a more this lifetime stuff. And then I had my beautiful friend over today for a healing swap. We were running each other's access bars, and I asked her to ask me some questions while she was running my bars about it. And what we discovered was, number one, it's not my point of view. Not my point of view at all. And that it was actually my great-grandmother. So my mum's dad's mum. And my great-grandmother, she was from a family with 6 sets of twins. They were record breakers in New Zealand. She came from a family in total of 15. And her mother, so my great-great-grandmother and grandfather, ran a very, very tight ship. And so as a result, great-grandma Emma also ran a very tight ship. So given that it's actually been her who's been floating around, that message was essentially her way of connecting in with me to say hi. And I didn't realize. And because it was so subtle, just so subtle. I never met great-grandma Emma. She had passed away many years before I was born even. She only lived till she was 63. And she, we were then like, okay, well, have you got anything else that you would like to communicate other than that? And she's like, yeah. She's like, I am so happy for you that you can live the way you do, that you have the financial security to be able to live in this home, to indulge in all of your hobbies. And she's like, and she's just so chuffed with how many hobbies I've got, all sorts of different things that I love to do. And that I have the freedom to be me with all of my woo-woo-ness, with all of my creativity, with my lightness, with my choosing to live alone at this point, even though I'm in a partnership, you know, all those sorts of things. And it wasn't like she was approaching it from a point of view of going, oh, I'm, you know, sad or regret not having that. Because she loved being a mum. She loved running house and, you know, being that nurturer, even though she was a very prim and proper lady. She was a very elegant lady. And, but she just had good values. And while I was having this conversation with her, I also became deeply aware that it's actually through her line that a lot of my magics has come through. So I knew it came from Granddad, some part of it, and there's another part that's come from my dad's side, but this is my mum's side. But I wasn't sure if it was his mum or his dad's side, and now I know it's from his mum's side. So that's really sweet. And so what we also did in that moment was I sent her that energy of just being in this beautiful home, being really super grateful for it, living the life that you desire to live, where you can play and rest and enjoy life and have that safe place to come home to that is peaceful and quiet. And or if you want to make it noisy, you can make it noisy yourself. You know, you can have people over if you wish to, or you can relax and enjoy it on your own. And so I sent her the energy of all of that, and she happily received that. So we'll see this week to come if that point of view drops out of my background system, because that would be really nice. I don't like feeling like I might die while I'm out and about just doing my stuff. This isn't the first time that I've seen this sort of thing, but not normally with me. And just knowing that she was so close in that way, and for so long before I started really asking questions, made me go, I wonder in your guys' life if you have any background running questions or points of views or habits, if you like, that when you really stop and think about it, you go, where the fuck does that come from? You know, that's not really something that, and because most people would go, who cares if you haven't made your bed or you've got a couple of dirty dishes in the sink? Who cares? It's not that big a deal. And I'm just like, I know, right? So yeah, interesting. So I feel a lot lighter. I feel a lot more spacious. I still like having my bed made. I like coming home at the end of the day, but I don't like feeling like I have to do it just in case I die. Alrighty. So just before I get into Edwina's reading, for those of you who were interested in doing the Sophia code with me this year, if you aren't on my mailing system and on my mailing list, the book club is now open. I'll give you a quick rundown of what's going to be required. So the first call, it'll be a Zoom call, like a collective Zoom meeting. It'll be streamed into the Facebook group. I hope I can figure out how to do that, but anyway, there'll be a Zoom call, and that'll be on the first Saturday of the month at, I think I said it was 10 or 10:30. Hang on, let me just bring it up. I was in something else. I think I might have made it. Okay. Here we go. So 10:30 a.m. Adelaide time. Okay. And the first call will be on the 7th of February. And so for that particular call, you will have to have read the whole of section 1, which is up to page 55. How you choose to use this book, how you choose to work with it. I do a mixture of Audible and this physical book. I like to be able to listen the first time, just doing something else, doing chores, whatever. And then I like to actually sit down and read the book, read the chapter, ideally actually out loud. And that to me is really helpful because it gets into my brain and into my heart and into my body in a couple of different ways. So the Sophia Code by Kaya Ra, if you can only get it on Audible and Kindle, that will work just as well. I personally love putting little post-it notes and things like that in the book as I'm going through, especially when I'm hosting a book club. So section 1 kind of gets you through all the introduction stuff. It gets you through, and so by the first Saturday in March, you will have read, so in the month of February, you will have read the first key code. Within the month of February, I will also be adding things like meditations and stuff like that to listen to help with the integration of the key code while you're reading through it. The key codes themselves are likely to be fairly intense. When I was reading out, and even sometimes when I was listening to them, they would make me stop in my tracks and I would just be crying. Some of them might hit you quite deeply. It's a very profoundly crystalline DNA and changing book set of information. Okay, so if you are interested, I asked the creation if it wished to do it for free, and it was like, nope. So it's only a small cheeky little contribution of $22.22. So I will put that in the links here for you now. That is now your invitation, if you haven't been on my mailing list up until now. Once you've made your payment, you'll get sent directly through to the Facebook group. You'll have to answer a couple of questions, and then I'll be able to let you into the group. It is a journey I've been on twice now, and each time it has completely changed me. And now I'm ready to help, facilitate you guys through that journey. It's going to be fun, and it's a 9-month journey. So there's only one physical call per month that you will have to attend, and everything else you can just do when and if it resonates for you to do it. Okay, so I would love you to come and join us and enjoy this little journey, little big journey. So there we go. Right, now that I've got that out the way, I have to say it was one of those moments when I pressed send on my MailChimp list and I went, because I was very aware that a lot of people hadn't heard from me for a very long time. And that comes with its own flow. Alrighty. Edwina, thank you. You picked up all my brains. Love it. Yes, and the reason why I'm dedicating 1 month to each key code is because the journey can be so bloody intense. I did the majority of it 1 week per key code. There was one of them that was stretched out over a couple of weeks due to stuff that was going on with my anchor and things like that. So that was cool. You just go with it. But 1 month per key code, hence the reason why it's 9 months long. And I thought that was kind of ironic, actually. How long does it take to create a baby in human terms? I'm so excited. Do love a good book club. It's been a while, hasn't it, Melinda? It's been a while since I've done a book club. And this one's going to feel really different to the others that I've run too, which is really, really quite fascinating for me. I had to let it brew for a wee while. That's why I've been talking about it with you guys for a couple of months now. And now it's like, yep, now's the time. Now is the time. And this is what it's going to look like. And, what was the other cards? These ones. They are coming together, Edwina. They are coming together. I'd still love to know, what are the 3 favorite things that have happened in your lives? Merit said, this morning I went to the car to remove redundant things when my son is going to use it for his skiing trip. I am as you. Nice. Beautiful. Yes, a big clearing out energies. For sure. Ooh. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it probably has been percolating for more than 12 months, hasn't it, Melinda, to be honest? Since, oh gosh, before the end of our last book club, which was while I was still in Mount Barker. So, it's been a while. Had to do a lot of self-healing, rebalancing. Had to have some pretty big shifts and changes to be able to do that. And again, thank you, Melinda, those few months ago when we did that healing swap where you held space so that Kali Ma could come in, and that really gave it a big, huge jump forward. So thank you. I was telling my friend about that today, actually. She was like, oh, wow, Kali Ma, hey? And I'm like, All right. Words are friendship, celebration, rejoice, and community. You are entering a period of joy and tranquility. However, this card speaks of friendship rather than romance, suggesting it's an opportune time to connect with friends. For the time being, let go of any desires, anxiety, or stress around romantic relationships. Instead, focus on your relationships with your friends. Turn to them for support if you require it, and find reasons to celebrate with them. Rejoice in the fact that they'll always be there for you and you for them. Community is also important at this time. Get out of your house and away from your own concerns. How can you positively contribute to your community? Reach out to your neighbors. Is there an activity group or support group that you've thought about joining? Do it now. This is a great way to meet new people who could turn into lifelong friends. Feel the joy of connecting with others and sharing your love in that way. Okay? So connecting, friends, maybe it's time. Have you just not spoken to your friends much lately? This week is a really good week to do that for you. Okay. You're going to have some growth stuff going on too. So let's have a look at... Ooh, you've got a bunch of a bunch of major arcana cards, which is fun. 65. Okay. So along with reaching out to your friends, and actually I get that this next card is if you've got friends who are more non-judgmental and maybe a little bit woo-woo based. I don't know if you've got too many of those in your world, but you really only require one. 2 is ideal, but one is very good. This next card might be a really good way of just having some healing time with them, because there's going to be some confrontation, or confront is the card. Keywords of fear, question, explore, courage, illusion, and clarity. Introspection and clarity are important at this time. Feelings that have lain dormant are now coming to the surface. They have been a part of your subconscious for some time. They're referred to as your shadow self and represent all of your fears and delusions regarding matters of the heart. You may have concerns about examining these issues, but know that when an issue arises to the surface, it's ready to be faced and healed. Have the courage to acknowledge and confront these newly emerging feelings. Look at them from all sides and try to determine where they came from, when and how they planted in your subconscious. Question the validity of these feelings. Often they are based on your childhood imagination and no more than illusions. They are not appropriate for your adult relationships, yet they persist. They're not based on reality, but they're powerful influences that can affect your relationships in major ways. They can even prevent a romantic relationship from manifesting. Have the courage to explore your beliefs and misconceptions about love. You may find that these emerging feelings are based not only on your limited perceptions, but also on what you actually saw or experienced as a child. Know that whatever your reality was then, it does not have to be your reality now. You are no longer that person. Examine these feelings and gain clarity on who you are and what is true for you regarding your relationships. Your affirmation. I examine my feelings about relationships and release what is no longer my truth. So this would normally be the moon in traditional tarot. Okay. So self-exploration. One of the things that I found really, really useful last year was journaling. And I was working with a a counselor, healer, a holistic counselor at the time, who would send me, like, I'd come to her with some kind of issue that had popped up in my world in that month, and she would go away and she'd come back a couple of days later, or say a couple of days later, with questions for me around that particular topic, which helped me to, like, I'd write the question down, and sometimes I'd answer it straight away. Sometimes I just write it down and let it percolate for a few days, or sometimes a couple of weeks. But at the end of the day, I would write down what would come to mind when I read the question. And it was really surprising to me, the things that would pop up. And when you write those sorts of questions down from the perspective of, like, polyvagal theory and working on ways to help yourself feel safe within, some really interesting stuff comes out. And it's like, it's almost like, you know, the thing with Harry Potter, where you weren't allowed to say Voldemort, because if you said Voldemort would become really powerful. Well, that's what people thought. But the funny thing is like, as soon as you actually acknowledge where the thing has come from, it's almost like it loses its power over you. And it's like, you can do that little bit of work to go, oh, actually, that doesn't even belong to me. Wow, that's something I've absorbed from my mum, my dad, my grandparents, society, whatever it is. And you can kind of go, oh, well, I don't have to hang on to that anymore. And you can let it go. And it doesn't require anything else. It's just like that moment of acknowledgement helps it to take away the power that it has in your mind. I keep hearing that lyric, that line in The Labyrinth, where it's like, you have no power over me, power over me, power over me. When she's talking to the Goblin King. Yeah. So it's like, where are the little goblins that are singing in your head? The little things that are, you know, creating little weird ripples into your world that were put there as a child that are no longer relevant anymore. You know? All right. The next card you have is Teach, which is another major arcana card. So the words are shepherd, advise, learn, wisdom, reflection, beliefs. Although the name of this card is Teach, it brings the dual energies of both teaching and learning. You have much wisdom to offer regarding affairs of the heart. This wisdom has been gained through all your joys and your sorrows. At this time, there may be an opportunity to assist someone regarding a relationship. That person may even be you. When the opportunity arises, remember the shepherd, the one who gently guides his sheep along the desired path. Use that same gentleness in guiding yourself or others. There may also be an opportunity to learn right now. This could take place in many ways, through conversations, observations, or even reflection. I get the reflection part for you. Take a moment to reflect on what you have already learned about your relationships and what you still wish or require to understand. Then seek a teacher who will help you arrive at that understanding. The downside of the Teach card is when our teachers want us to blindly follow their direction. In relationships, this often leads to restrictions and disappointment. These teachers come in many forms: family, friends, society, and so on. If a relationship is not going smoothly, it's time to examine the beliefs you hold about relationships. Are they truly your beliefs, or have you unintentionally accepted the beliefs of others, beliefs that no longer serve you? Affirmation. In matters of the heart, I offer what I know, learn what I don't know, and remain true to myself. This traditional archetype would be the Hierophant. Isn't that a cute little puppy? So what I'm getting with this card, and it's linking in with the previous card, is that's a lot of self-reflection that you're going to be looking at this next week. Again, if you've got somebody in your world who you can talk with, who is non-judgmental and is open to looking at things from different perspectives, from a more observational point of view, and you trust them not to like force their points of views onto you. So this week is definitely a week to reach out to them and perhaps share with them some of your awakenings, some of your thoughts, feelings, like, and maybe see if they can ask you some questions if they know how to do that sort of thing. All right. Now, this next card actually doesn't surprise me after all the others that we've just had. It is the base chakra. So your key facts on the base chakra is it's red, the color. The sound is lamb. The element is earth. The gland that the base chakra is related to is the adrenal gland. So have you had issues with your adrenals lately? Have they been a bit out of whack? That might be a sign that your base chakra is not functioning quite as it should. Keywords are I have. Known as the base or root chakra, this energy center is situated at the base of the spine, as most closely related to all of your earthly issues, such as survival, the physical body, issues of money, sustenance, safety, and shelter. Physical movement strengthens this chakra. Walk, dance, move in the garden, do anything that will get you moving. By energizing this chakra, you strengthen your right to have, and you will be blessed with the loving and supportive relationships that you truly deserve. So the funny thing is that when we're in survival mode, quite often our base chakra gets a little bit wonky because we don't believe that we can have what we actually truly desire. We have this weird point of view that we don't deserve it. It's not ours to have. We have to look after everybody else before ourselves, all that sort of stuff. So just check in with yourself and have a look and see. That might be one of the questions you ask of, what is it that I desire to have that I'm not choosing at the moment? What would it feel like to have those things? And then you could also go, what do I require to do to help bring that into fruition, to actualize those things? All right. We are going to have a really... Oh, that's so interesting. We've got 2 more cards to go. The last one is from a different deck. And I just read what it said, and I'm like, that's funny. 1 for 3. All right. Second to last card is rest and reconsider. Keywords: fatigue, perseverance, strength, and recharge. Remember what I was saying about survival mode? Sometimes the struggle to create and maintain harmonious and fulfilling relationships just seems like too much work. You put forth your best effort and give more than your share, and find that there are still issues to be dealt with. You're tired, and at times you just wish to give up. The message of this card is to persevere. You have been disappointed or hurt in the past. Know that those past sorrows have made you stronger, even though you don't feel that way at the moment. This is a good time to briefly step away from any conflict or issues around love. Give yourself some space to relax and replenish your energy. Continuous effort stresses the body and dulls the mind. You require to rest and reconsider your methods. Once you've recharged yourself, you'll be stronger, clear-headed, and confident, ready to move forward and once again with new ideas about how to improve your situation. So if we consider that in this particular deck, this was the first card and this is the last card, these two together are telling you, reach out to your friends and rest, please, because the stuff that you have to do, the shadow work in the middle, is intense, and you have to have some yummy stuff on either side to be able to do that work with gentleness. Okay? Gentleness on yourself. Now, the reason why I was like, oh, is because if you recall, the base chakra was talking about movement. We have a fairy blessing for you. This was actually the very first card that came out, but I'm doing it last. Check this out. A blessing of movement. So clearly you've got to move your body. So maybe it's a sign that with your friends you can say, hey, let's go for a walk somewhere. Not just sit around and, have a few brewskis or anything. It's like, go do something in the way of moving your body. Perhaps you could go to a movement class, some kind of dance class or something that, some kind of event or something to get your body moving. The fairy gift of free-flowing liberty movement through the world, deciding your own direction. Let the fairies offer you this gift of movement, the freeing of the stagnant parts of your life, of the disentangling of the cords that have bound you, the clearing of the way before you so that you can go where you dream and wish to and wish of. Let the fairies be with you as you finally begin to break free and explore more, either through movement of the mind, with ideas, or movement of the body. With joy in the expression of the body, or movement from one place to another, or movement to destinations you have dreamed of. Let the movement ripple through any emotional places where old habits have pulled and grown heavy in their energy. Let the fairies clear this from you, blessing you with a lightness and a freedom and a sense of the unknown before you. May the freedom to come and to go now be yours, and let every step become a blessing to you. Know that the fairies bless you as you move forward into the unknown adventure of life with all of its holy freedoms. How lovely is that? And she's just like so peaceful, so proud, quiet, confident. That's what I see when I see that. It's like that energy of just like shoulders back, chin up. It's like, yes, I've got this. And your yummy God. Respect. Respect you, respect your journey, respect the absolute incredible being that you are with your big, big, full heart. And know that none of this is coincidental, and it's all for your higher self. Like, it's all for your growth. Okay? Thank you so much, Edwina, for your beautiful, generous, kind donation. I am so super grateful for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope that helps and gives you some direction for this week to come. Sounds like you're going to be on a really interesting journey, and I'm just I highly encourage you to get journaling. Give yourself a little bit of quiet time, even if it's in little bursts, if you can. All right. Mwah. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All righty, Melinda, that was my greatest pleasure to hold space for you and Kalima to do the healing she needed to with. Yes, that was it was big, it was profound, it was very interesting seeing my feminine and my masculine side arguing with Kalima. It's like, jeepers. And there was me going, why are you arguing with her? She's like here to take this horrible energy away, and you're sitting there trying to argue with her because you're scared of what might happen if you let it go. Like, oh my goodness. And that's just so true for a lot of people who they sort of, cool. Beautiful. Thank you, Edwina. So many people, when they're on their energetic journey, their spiritual journey, they come up to a certain point where it's scary. It's scary not knowing what's coming next. It's a fear of the unknown. And for some people, it stops them from progressing. I'm fortunate enough that I was, deep in a modality for 5 years that basically made it that it was not okay to do that. It wasn't okay to stop. It's like you have to keep moving forward. And it was sometimes quite brutal. And sometimes that brutality was exactly what was required. Because I can tell you right now, this little Aries can be bloody stubborn. This horse Aries can be very, very stubborn. And at times, people had to match my stubbornness energy equally from a consciousness point of view. And it was like, smash that through. And it's just like, whoa. And I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And the uncomfortable part was the fact I had to get comfortable with not being in control. And that was a huge growth moment. And it didn't happen all at once, but it certainly did happen, like a good old Pantene ad. And it was good. And I'm so glad. I'm so pleased that I was able to embrace that. And it took a while, It was attacked from or taken down. That control freak side of me was taken down from multiple angles over the years. And then I was able to start leaning into other modalities after I kind of left the business of that other modality. I still use the modality. I use the tools a lot. I love the tools, but I walked away from the business of it, the business model, and leaned into other modalities, healing modalities. And I loved that. Absolutely loved it. Tamara, my dear, what is your question for this week? And thank you for your donation too. Marit, 3 most wonderful things in my life. Is the strong awakening and purpose in my life at the moment. My 2 children, one an angel, the other one not an awakened angel yet. Oh, that is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is so lovely. Alrighty, what do you require to know to support you through the month of January? Interesting. We haven't used this one very often. So I'm curious to see what comes out. I don't know that this has even been out on the show. I think I may have shown it to you guys. One of you is very familiar with this particular deck. And now she's going, what is it? What have you got? You probably already got it. You got all the decks. Oh, I love it. So while I'm shuffling, there's a lot of energy on this particular deck. So it kind of surprises me it hasn't come out more often. And, in some ways, no, I'm not surprised too. Just while I'm doing this gently. Zach over on YouTube land says, hello, my friend. 8th of January was Mom's birthday. Happy birthday to your mum. I find myself often lamenting or self-doubting my virtues as a son and questioning God, taking her on the verge of her best years ever. Any clarity for me? Okay. Zach, are you familiar with the work of Dolores Cannon? Because I'm getting that there is a book in her work that is for you. And the one that is coming to mind, and this might seem really, really bloody obtuse, but the one that is coming to mind is Keepers of the Garden. That feels like a book that you might find quite helpful in your own discovery and exploration of your purpose here, and perhaps even your mother's purpose, even given that that was the question. So Keepers of the Garden, it's like all of her work. I love her work. I resisted it for such a long time, like a good 2 to 3 years. People had been talking around me about Dolores Cannon, different people, and what is it even the same one person? It was different people, and then all of a sudden it was just like I just got the doof. Okay, it's time. And so I didn't start with that particular book. I started with some others, and they were all amazing. But that's the one that feels like it's for you. Okay. There was a reason that she agreed to go when she did, before she was even born. The way that she left, maybe that wasn't quite so planned out, but maybe it was. There's no coincidence. At the moment, I'm reading or listening to some stuff around Hermeticism, and there is absolutely no coincidences. Nothing. You just haven't seen the purpose or the reasoning. That's why you're classing it as a coincidence. So, but in the laws of the universe, there is always cause and effect. And so there was a reason why your mum had to go when she did. And it's like there's a reason why my great-grandmother passed away when she was 63. that's very young. My mum has now outlived her great-grandmother, or my great-grandmother, her grandmother. So there, yeah. So that's what I would suggest for you, Zach. Keepers of the Garden. Beautiful. Okay, Tamara. You're going to have to be a little bit patient with me on this one. I haven't. Oh. We have seen these cards, I think. Or maybe I just played with them at the time. But this card deck has actually come through from Melinda. Thank you, Melinda. It is Dreams of Gaia Tarot. All right. So the reason why I said you're going to have to be a bit patient is because I have to figure out where each card sits. Well, that was easy, the first one. Okay. Thank you for asking the question, Zach. That was super lovely. I'm glad I was able to give a little bit of insight. All right, Tamara, for the rest of January, we have Ace of Earth is your first card. Keywords are new beginnings, goals, motivation, desire, preparations, opportunity, education, security, potential reward, potential consequences. Your key phrases from this card are practicality and pragmatism, starting a new financial or career opportunity, reward versus consequence, making preparations, planning for the future, material gain, and a desire for security. When the Ace of Earth appears in your reading, it represents a time of change and new beginnings on the career and home front. This change is driven by a desire for financial security and independence for yourself or for those for whom you are responsible. It is time to make preparations and plans for the future so that you are not challenged or placed under stress by the changes that are coming. What do you wish to do with your life? What career path will allow you to both meet your responsibilities and be fulfilled? Are you more interested in financial reward than seeking a vocation or a career that will stimulate you and make you happy? Is it time for you to think of the outcome you desire? Do you require to further your education and qualifications to create more financially rewarding opportunities? A new beginning founded in practicality and pragmatism. This is the energy of the Ace of Earth. It is time to be grounded in your approach and seek tangible outcomes that meet your desires. Determine your weaknesses and strengths, weigh your responsibilities, and then decide whether or not they fit with your goals and objectives. Also, be sure to consider the impact your decision will have on those around you. Be certain of your motivation. If you desire a safe and secure environment that is free of financial stress, then now is the time to consider building solid foundations. Potential blockage, which I don't have to worry about because it wasn't in the reversed position because I didn't do reverse. So let me just check it. No, it's upright. Cool. All right. So there we go. We have the Ace of Earth for you as your first card. You said you use them all the time. That's fantastic. As I was reading that, the other thing that was coming through was just be aware of where you may be diving a little bit too deeply into your masculine. Yes, be pragmatic, but be grounded to earth, which is a very, make sure that you're keeping that flow going really, really nicely between your masculine and your feminine side, making sure that you're connecting to earth, connecting to sky. Just make sure that things are really balanced within yourself as you do this. Yes, be pragmatic. Yes, make preparations for the future, etc., etc. and also just be aware of where you might sort of slip into your masculine a little bit too much. Okay. Okay. Your next card is the 11 of Earth. Your keywords are heaven, earth, above, below, nature, humanity, magic, mundane, material, and immaterial. Your key phrases are separation is an illusion, center and design, spiritual being in a physical body, spirit dwells in nature, experience life and learn from experience, symbiotic relationships, harm the planet and you harm humanity, and the ordinary is magical and the magical is ordinary. Let me just see. Nope, we're in the upright position, so that's good. The 11 of Earth is balancing and realignment card. It suggests now is a time to keep yourself centered. Fuck, I love it when that happens. Didn't I just say that? Keep yourself centered and in harmony with the world around you by banishing the illusion of separation. You are a spiritual being, a soul living in a physical body in order to experience and learn from life. You are here to learn from those experiences in order to grow and evolve. It is important to integrate and ground your belief in a higher power or the intangible. Here on the physical plane, know that spirit, the divine, dwells in all things of earth, sky, and water. Honor spirit here on earth. To be spiritual does not necessarily require that you pray or follow a particular religious path. Spirituality is about connection. It is about taking a moment to watch a sunrise or sunset and know at your center that you are part of something larger than your own life. It is about believing in more than your senses experience. It is about believing in the mysterious, inexplicable, and unknowable. It is about nurturing and honoring your personal relationship with the land beneath your feet and the heavens above. Humanity and nature have a symbiotic relationship. We are dependent upon the world in which we live for our very survival. When we harm the planet, we do harm to humanity. It is important to establish a balanced, harmonious relationship with nature by living a life that has less impact, one that places fewer demands on the environment. Instead of claiming space as your own, remember that you share it and do what you can to coexist with the flora and fauna that were there before you. Integrate nature into your home environment. It is important to know and understand how to live in accordance with the seasons and cycles, and how each animal and plant serves an important role in maintaining the stability of the ecosystems in which they dwell. To destroy one can lead to the destruction of the whole. It is also important to see that magic exists in all and everything. For example, the mundane act of house cleaning can shift and alter the energy within the house and transform the environment in which you dwell. This act has an influence beyond the space around you. It affects your emotional and mental state, as well as a cluttered and disorganized house or workspace can give rise to a cluttered and disorganized mind that is unable to focus. Mathematical patterns and the Fibonacci sequence, for example, can be found hidden in the natural world within the shapes of shells, flowers, pine cones, and even the human womb. They are also visible in the way tree branches grow and the shape of a hurricane when viewed from above. It is said that the ordinary is magical and magic is quite ordinary. To work magic is a simple process of creating and focusing energy with intent, which means that everything you do with intent, from adding a string of numbers to making a nice dinner for friends, is an act of making magic. Oh my God, we said that earlier. When defining the material as the physical world in which we dwell and the immaterial world we cannot see, the 11th of Earth addresses the importance of seeing them as being part of the singular whole. Now, you wouldn't have heard me talking about that part of the healing, which this one talks about the magic, adding a string of numbers to making a nice dinner for friends is, an act of magic. We were talking about it in relation to healing and the different ways that people can heal. So that was part of the group reading at the start of the show. So clearly there's also that is coming through on this one too. And as I said before, it's your connection. The other thing that I was getting with this one is, do you eat fruit and veggies in season? Or do you just go to the supermarket and just get the same things each time? Because that was something that was popping up, that you might require to get a little bit more familiar with what fruits and veg are actually in season and eat via seasons, rather than just the fact that oranges are available all year round, or avocados, or whatever it is. Okay, so that was something else that was coming through as I was reading that card. Yes. Be aware of your symbiotic relationships with heaven and earth. All right. Your next card is a fire card. So you said you don't, but you've thought about it often, just don't have the mind space to investigate. So as creatures of habit, we often will go and buy the same kinds of fruit and veg each time, right? So some things can be grown all year round. That's cool. Like potatoes, for example, can actually be grown all year round. So what I would suggest is write a list of all the fruit and veg that you would normally have, not the random ones that you only get like twice a year or whatever, but the ones that are your core fruit and veg, and find out when traditionally they would be in season to be harvested. And then from there, you can start making that little change in the way that you eat and connect with earth. Because when you think about the energy of imported product, that's the energies that's not here in Australia, right? And because you're an Australian person here in Australia, living in Australia, your body will be best resonating with the fruit and veggies that would be a natural season in Australia. And while we love to get fruit and veg from other countries and things like that, and that's cool as well, just be aware of when they would naturally be in season in their parts of the country too. So I would start with your core stuff and then grow from there. Wouldn't take much, I don't think. I don't eat a lot of fruit and veggies, so it's not a super big deal for me. All right. That's fascinating. Wow. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. That's not the one I've got there. It's not a fire one at all. It's a water one. Let's get the right one. Okay. That looks a bit better. It's like something's not quite working here. All right. So we've got the 10 of water. So the keywords are universal love, divine connection, centeredness, serenity, peace, oneness, boundaries, and disruption. The key phrases are truly living in the present, feeling of divine connection, a time of serenity and ease, power born of knowledge and understanding, a positive emotional state, the power to consciously project your energy, say no to disruptive influences, and giving life and power to shadows. So remember how I said back at the start of your reading, be mindful of where you might be leaning a little bit too far into your masculine. This card's coming in to show you where you require to keep leaning into your feminine. The Ten of Water symbolizes both a beginning and an ending. It is that moment when we let go of the emotions that bind us to the past and find ourselves truly living in the present for the first time. It is a feeling of divine connection with all and everything, feeling and knowing that love dwells at the very core of our being and always has. It symbolizes a period of time when we can move through life with a serene sense of ease and fluidity, even when surrounded by turmoil and conflict, when the weight of past emotions is released and everything flows in the manner it is meant to. Our emotional state now influences our life in a positive way that makes it easy to see and understand how powerful we truly are when we divest ourselves of emotional hooks to the past that only serve to limit and restrict us. To know yourself to the extent that you understand why you feel as you do, and then realize that you have a choice to react in a different way, is to have control over the energy that you project. Instead of creating a reality that is reflection of unconscious emotional energy, the Ten of Water lets you know you can now consciously project your feelings and create a future of your choosing. Have you ever noticed how someone can alter the energy of an entire room of people just by walking in and smiling? One smile, a kind gesture, a moment of attention and genuine interest can change a person's whole demeanor in a heartbeat. Some people seem to have an almost tangible connection to everything and anyone, and a single word or glance can bring joy. When the Ten of Water appears in the cards before you, she represents a state of serene grace that is achievable if you desire it. By consciously embracing a positive mindset and focusing on living a joyful life in this moment, on this day, and each day that follows, you can influence everything around you in the same positive manner. It is not about denying those influences that create discord and disharmony. Instead, it is about choosing not to allow them to disrupt your life and steal your happiness. It is about starting each day with a smile, greeting everyone you meet with kindness, and focusing your attention on the things that bring you peace and joy. Okay? So this one here is coming back to your center. And I know that there's a lot that goes on in your life, and as a mom and all that, and there's a lot that shifts and changes all the time, and you're dealing with so many different elements and dealing with their dad and all that sort of stuff. One of the greatest things you can do is to remember your peace, and that you don't have to be swept up in everybody else's BS. You can choose something different. Even when something like comes up that, like I said, disrupts, you don't have to get angry. You can just choose to make a different choice. You can choose to speak up. So, and then other people can then do what is required to make it better. But it's amazing how much people will respond more positively if you stay calm and don't dive into their mess with them, even if they're projecting at you. It's like, It's kind of nice, actually. Alrighty. Now, who do we have? We have the Ace of Water. So you got a couple of water cards in there. New emotions, first love, infatuation, attraction, lust, longing, excitement, and passion. An exciting beginning. Take a leap of faith, open your heart, follow passion's lead, and a new experience or opportunity, a new friendship. Stop fighting your feelings and free of fear's influence. No, it's still right, so we're doing okay. The Ace of Water symbolizes the beginning of a new love and those feelings of nervous excitement that we experience at the start of a new relationship. It is that growing sense of attraction and infatuation that draws you in and dares you to throw common sense aside. Falling in love is both paradoxically thrilling and terrifying, as a flood of emotions picks you up and carries you away. The river could carry you gently or lead you to rapids, or worse, fling you over a waterfall. Regardless of where this new beginning may lead, now is the time to open your heart to another or a new experience or opportunity. This is to do with your work. This is to do with your creations, just saying. This is not a romantic thing. This is to do with business and your new creation that you are currently brewing on. It's going to be, for the rest of this month, it's going to be coming into far greater final look, however that's going to be. Just, I don't even need to finish reading that. There's going to be some prep stuff that you're going to be doing. And that's also about that masculine, feminine, making sure that that's all nicely balanced in there. That has got to reflect within this creation. Okay. So that's what that one's about. All right. Oh, gosh. Okay. All right. For this one, I'm just going to read the first little bit in the key phrases. You know the cards well. So we've got healing. This is the card that popped out and I went, huh. I have a funny feeling it wasn't here that I played with these cards. I just realized where I played with them. It was at my friend's house, not Melinda's either. Oh, that's very cool. Because this card came out for me in a reading earlier this year. And last year. Anyway, healing. Healing, keywords are healing, release, purification, forgiveness, transformation, and infection. Interesting. Key phrases: to be human is to be wounded. A time to connect with body, mind, and spirit and soul. Let go of definitions and labels. Nurture passions and seek pleasure, authenticity, honesty, and laughter. Find the source of dis-ease and distress. You require to forgive. Do what's necessary to increase well-being, and do Do not dwell on the unchangeable past. Shift your attention. Do not allow your pain to hurt others. Seek treatment. Do not be afraid. This one is coming in alignment with the 10 of water. Okay, it's getting very similar energies to that. So this rest of this month is going to be a little bit more of a deep dive for you, and making sure that you're taking responsibility for your healing, which I know you do, and also that you might require a little bit of extra help to assist in your healing. Okay, like I said, seek help. Don't be afraid. It's okay to reach out to others and get a little bit of contribution. One of the ways that helped me a lot, especially in the first 7 years, I would say, of my healing journey and spiritual growth, consciousness upgrade journey, was doing energy swaps with other people. That was, because it doesn't cost anything. And you both receive a hell of a lot out of it. So if you have somebody in your area that you can do healing swaps with, it doesn't have to be the same modality, by the way. If you know somebody that does Reiki, for example, and you're into Bowen therapy, or they can do massage and you can do something else, you just do that swap with each other. You have an agreed amount of time that you spend with each other. There was one time I did because I used to run group, like Healing the Healer type group swaps. And one lady was like, I'm really, really interested in coming, but I don't know any healing modalities. And I said to her, well, can you do a hand massage or a foot massage? And she's like, well, yeah, actually, I'm really good at those. And I'm like, okay, cool. And she goes, I've got all of these essential oils that I use. They were from doTERRA. And she goes, maybe I could do something with that. And I was like, perfect. There's your healing modality right there. Bring that with you. And somebody will get the gift of you giving them a hand or a foot massage. And how beautiful would that be for that person? And she was just like, oh, wow. So don't be restricted. And this is a message for everybody out there. You can contribute so much to somebody else just through whatever modality you have or way you have of contributing to someone else's body. You don't even have to really know what you're doing in massage to be able to give a reasonable hand massage. It's like, when was the last time you allowed somebody to touch your hand, one hand even, for 10 minutes in a loving, nurturing, nourishing kind of a way? Like, I can't think of the last time somebody did that. Holding hands, sure. But not for a massage. So just keep that in mind. There's something in there with that feeling of the community stuff. Get out in nature a little bit more. Okay. Maybe reach out to your community in the area that you live in, and see if there are some healing type groups. If you haven't got any friends that are in your area that do energy work. But yeah. And that gifting and receiving will also help you to remain balanced with your masculine and feminine energies within. Okay. Let us, and failing that, get out in nature, connect, and clearly water, around some water. Okay. And I'm not talking about a pool. No. Like either ocean or river or lake or something like that, some natural earth water, not water that's full of chemicals. Check your frequency. So something that I have been playing around with a bit today. I'll come back to that story in a moment. Thank you so much, Tamara. I hope that helps you. And I hope that helps you for the next couple of weeks, 2.5 weeks of the month. There's a lot of really good stuff in there. A couple of aces cards, which is interesting. No fire cards. There's an major arcana card in there. The earth and water. So there we go. So again, thank you, Tamara, for your generous donation. I'm so grateful for you. And I need to have a more drink of water. I hope that helps. And it's good to hear that you've got a trip planned to the beach next week. Yes. Take some time. Take some time to be quiet with that too and just absorb. It's very easy when we're out and about to get caught up in the busyness and not actually just stop and just be present. Wow. You said you used them to do a 2026 reading for yourself and pulled 3 out of 4 ace cards. And I got 2 of them tonight. So there we go. The ace cards are very strong for you at present. How interesting. How very, very, very interesting. Yes. I don't think that we've had that deck come out here on the show. So thank you. Thank you for that. That's awesome. Oh. All right. Can I remember what I was just about to tell you? No, it's gone. All right. I think we might be up to the free so let me just balance things out with some water. Now, for those of you who are new to the show, particularly over on Facebook land, on YouTube land, this section of the show is very special. And it's special because what it does is it helps you to tap in with your awareness along with mine. And you essentially are guiding me into, like, rather than your team who guides me into knowing which cards to choose and which direction the conversation requires to go. That's your team. That's your team talking to me. And sometimes as I'm doing the readings, you might find that I cough or I yawn or things like that. And that's energy moving. Because I'm a kinesthetic learner and a kinesthetic healer. So I learn through doing and I learn through feeling. Okay. So anyway, this particular little fun tool is here to help you to tap into your own awareness. And to start off with, what we do is we do this really neat little exercise called the expanding out tool. And the expanding out tool is fantastic for helping you every single day to feel more balanced and able to respond rather than react. Okay. And on the show, I always take you through a really slower, gentler way of doing it, taking you through step by step each week. For those of you who are way more experienced and have been here like for years, you know that if you were to do this particular tool, the expanding out tool, that you can, in everyday life, you can do it by just saying, I expand out beyond wherever I've been before. And if you feel like it's not quite fully done, you'll know because it'll feel a little bit wonky. You might have some pressure across your head. And then you say, I expand out my allowance beyond that. Now, I can perceive that those of you who've been around a while have just done it. So well done. Now you're going to have to wait for everybody else to catch up. All right. So close your eyes. Take a big deep breath in and out. Take another big deep breath in. Bring Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. And as you breathe out, bring Father Sky energy all the way down. Bring Mother Earth in the unconditional love all the way up. Bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Now become aware of your body. Become aware of the clothes on your body. Become aware of the air around you. Become aware of how your body is positioned. And now expand out your awareness in a big bubble all around you, up into the sky and down into the earth, beyond the outline of your building. Expanding out your awareness like a big, big bubble with you right in the middle. Expanding out your awareness bigger than the size of the country that you're on. Bigger than the size of the planet, greater than the size of the solar system, greater than the size of the galaxies, and finally greater than the size of the universes. Take a big breath in and out. And now keeping your awareness nice and expanded out, focus on your body once of allowance. Your sense of allowance takes you from the position of being in a tight, contracted little pebble at the bottom of a raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and feeling at the effect of everything, and not really being able to see possibilities or solutions or anything like that. When your allowance is expanded out, you become like a nice big old fluffy cloud floating along, and you can see that big huge raging river for the truth of what it actually is. It's actually just emotion. It's just energy. It's not even the emotion. It's just energy. And you have the choice to respond to that or not. And in the not, that's a choice, and you get to float on by. That empowers you to make the choice that actually works for you and your body. So taking your allowance now and expanding that out in a big, big bubble all around you, up into the sky, down into the earth. Expanding out your allowance greater than the planet, greater than the solar system, greater than the galaxies, greater than the universes. And now expanding out your allowance beyond your awareness. Take a big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, your body will relax. Just take a moment to enjoy that slight shift. That little moment there is where, if you've been running on high cortisol for a long time, your cortisol levels will drop. A little bit of dopamine will have been released. Your nice little happy hormones. And your body will just feel a little bit more relaxed. And now, for this next week, what number between 1 and 88 inclusive will be the greatest contribution to you this following week? Pop that in the chat now. Open your eyes and pop it in the chat. All right, Tamara's onto it. Okay, Tamara, 44. You got reborn for this week to come. With each trouble and problem, even before I knew you existed, was bringing me closer to you. My life has had much heartache, as has yours. And through our hurt, we've learned to be wary. However, when two souls connect, nothing can hold them back. The restrictions we put upon our hearts are wiped away with one single tear, to be replaced with undeniable trust. Souls and bodies connecting to become a brand new life. Darling, this is not a relationship. This is a deep dive into what your relationship, old traumas, you're going to be doing a lot of healing and clearing out of that old stuff. With that, I get this real massive sense of there's a body of work that you are going to be able to access because of your healing of your past relationship stuff. And that in itself is going to become a really big, beautiful workshop or a series of workshops where you will be able to help other women through the healing process of dealing with what you have or similar to what you have with the trauma of the past relationships. Okay. This reborn stuff is around you finally really getting the nuggets of wisdom of that past relationship stuff and putting it into a context that will be able to help others. Okay. That was cool. That was really fucking strong, by the way. It was just like, that's cool. All right. Melinda, hope you have fun with that tomorrow. 24. Interesting. This new week to come. The entanglement. As I get tangled deeper into the web of love, the overwhelming feeling of sadness covers me. I need you to be near. I cry these tears, and although they are in sadness, they are for the love that I feel for you. Sometimes you question if I really do love you. These tears aren't fake, and neither are my words. This web which is being woven around my heart is especially for you and me, No matter how far apart we are, I know that we'll be thinking of each other in that special way that only a couple can. This for you is related to relationship. This for you is about you doing a very special process around the attributes of your desired soul mate or soul partner. This is something that you have to do this week. You have to do this preparation. You have to narrow down. You have to get really fucking clear about the type of person that you wish to bring in, because they are there waiting for you. They're at a distance at the moment. Energetically, they're there. And they're just waiting for you to actually ask for their particular attributes to come in. It doesn't have to be a big, huge, long list. It just has to be very, very crystal clear. So there we go. I have more to say on that, but I'll reach out to you privately. Okay. So remind me tomorrow if I haven't messaged you. Okay. Yeah. There's some really deep energy in there with that one for you. All right. All right. Okay. Are you saying 78? Are you saying 7? Or are you saying 8? Personally, I get 78 with a weird comma in the middle. Oh, Tamara. Tamara said that brought tears to my eyes. Thank you. You're welcome, Melinda. Yes. It's time. It's time for you to start focusing on that kind of yummy energy again. You've done a lot of the work that you require to do, a lot of the releasing, a lot of the healing. And now it's time to bring in that really nice, yummy energy that's been floating around for a while, but now it's like getting a bit bloody loud. Marit, is it 7, 8? 7 or 8? Is it 78? They came in at the same time, 7 and 8. Which one was first? And or which one was loudest? That's a really good way to put that. Here's something a lot of people don't tell you about. And I have to say thank you to Melinda for this. So all those months ago, when I went and stayed at Melinda's house, we had a conversation about natural underarm deodorant. And one of the things that I was a bit concerned about with, you know, my perimenopause and all of that sort of stuff was smell. And thank you, Marit. Appreciate that. I can, and so about 6 weeks ago now, I would say, it happened to be at Coles or Woolies. No, it was Coles. And I picked up some Wild deodorant. It's a stick deodorant. I'm normally a roll-on girl, but I picked up this Wild stuff. I can honestly say thank you for the warning, Melinda, because I have managed to get through in the last 6-ish weeks the releasing and the detoxing of my old deodorants. It has meant that I've had to be way more thorough in the shower with my cleaning of my armpits. But it's something that I don't think a lot of people talk about, is the detoxing process. And you, beautiful lady, warned me that in the detoxing, it might take a couple of months. And yeah, it, like I said, about 6 weeks for me, because I'm an overachiever and all. And, you know, when you sort of go, oh God, I can smell myself, you know, that was my reality. But I stuck with it. I thought, no, I'll keep going. Melinda said. So I'm proud to say I'm still using the natural deodorant. I have another one that is a roll-on one that is like it smells like strawberries or something. So I'm actually using both of those at the same time. They're both natural deodorants though. And that was very much required this week. And now it's like, there's no scent whatsoever since I put my deodorants on this morning. So that's good. Yay. Just wanted to say thank you. All right, Marit. Worries. In this world, there are many of them, most of which we could do without. They come in many shapes and forms and can arise at any time. The only way to solve them is to confront them. If they are avoided, they grow. To hope they'll go away is fantasy, but life would be boring without them. When we find that they're getting on top of us, that's when it's too much and it brings us down. So, to be content, we have to combat the damaging to keep healthy and happy. Marit, I did have a quick glance at what 7 was, and one of the questions that's going to come up, that has come up while I was reading this for you, is where are you overextending yourself with the point of view that it's your job to heal everyone? And in healing, in that process, are you taking the energies on or are you letting them go through you? Are you being a gatekeeper of other people's energy, or are you allowing yourself to be a conduit? A lot of people who are healers work from the old, outdated, but not that old. It's like a Middle Ages point of view that you had to hold energy to heal it. It goes back to the days of soul eaters, which is a Middle Ages thing. And it's not how we actually require to heal. If you go back further than that, we don't actually take that energy in. It's like it passes through. And you'll know if you're doing this, because when I come out of an energy healing, I am so light and so fluffy and lightheaded and like I feel fan-fucking-tastic. I don't feel drained. If I come out of an interaction with someone and I feel heavy and drained, I know that I've taken on some of their energy and haven't let it go through. And so I have to let that go. So this is a gentle reminder to you to be mindful of where you're taking on everybody else's worries and woes and trying very desperately to make them your own. Because it's not going to help. That's not helping the planet. It's not helping society. It's not helping the collective move forward. You are essentially holding parts of the puzzle and not letting them go. And you can let them go with consciousness attached. You can return them to the people with consciousness attached. So then they have the spiritual conscious information on how to heal themselves. Okay. Hope that helps. Because a lot of people go, oh my gosh, why didn't you protect your womb? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, because I don't have to. I'm just space. Like, it's cool. Yeah. So there we go, Marit. I hope that helps you. Thank you for coming to play. Mwah. Oops. Melinda, yes, it's the detoxing of the underarms that can take a bit of time, but once it's there, it's magic. I also like the ones from Noosa Basics. They are organic, and Priceline have them. They have natural fragrances. Yay! I may look into those once I've gotten through my wild stuff. I actually bought two. One that's like, I can't even remember. I think one of them was like a ocean breeze type fragrance. Oh dear. Okie dokie, my loves. Let us do a drink of water. Okay, I've taken the energy from my surroundings. I know that, but I have worked it through in a way. I have to try, though, make a close one's actions not so heavy towards me mainly. Yeah. Yeah, it's easy enough to move the energy through our bodies when it's nature. Just do the same with people. It's yeah. And just let go of that old point of view that you have to hold on to people's stuff that's not yours. Okay? You don't have to heal it within your body. That's universe, consciousness, like creator, Sophia, Gaia, like whatever name you want to give it. That's their job, not yours. You are literally the conduit. You can be the space. All right. I'm just going to play a little thing for you so I can get this frog out of my throat, and then I will come back. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. Marit, you're a wise enough woman. I'm assuming you're female. I feel like you are because you said soul sister. If you're already questioning something, then there's probably the answer is there already. When things are true for you, they will feel light. If they're not true for you, it's a no. If it's heavy and contracted, it's a no. But remember that that's your truth and not necessarily someone else's. Okay? Melinda's going to head off to bed. She's really tired after a long, hot day at work. I totally get it. Hugs. Have an awesome week, and you'll catch up with the meditation over the weekend. Night, night. Love you. All right. Okay. Just hearing some interesting noises. And I have a funny feeling I know what that is. So it's okay. All right. We are going to do a really lovely meditation today. And this is going to be in relation to our reading from the start of the show. So we're going to bring in those colors. We're going to bring in what it was asking for us to do. So enjoy. Close your eyes. Take a big, deep breath in. And out. And as you tap in with your body, just feel how delicious and loving, kind, and compassionate it is. We're going to go up to theta. So imagine now that there is a big, beautiful light shining into your heart, moving down through your body, through your legs, through your feet to the center of Mother Earth. Curling around the center of Mother Earth and then moving all the way back up through the body. This beautiful, bright, white, opalescent light shines out the top of your head, creates a big bubble above your head, and now imagine that you're inside that bubble. That bubble now floats up higher and higher through the golden light, through the rainbow jelly light clouds, through the pink misty clouds, and through the big, big opening that you can see bright white opalescent light is streaming out of. Move through that opening until you're completely surrounded by the bright white opalescent light. It might feel like you're standing underneath the sun, and the sun's warm rays are shining down all over you. Take a big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, the bubble around you dissolves. And the unconditional love of Creator is all around you right now. And as you breathe back in again, that unconditional love moves in through your body. And as you breathe out, the worries and woes of the week just float away. Give them up, give them to Creator, Universe, Source, whatever you'd like to call it, Sophia. Now imagine that the color of amber is swirling around your body in a gentle flow of energy swirling around your body. A gorgeous amber color, which is then moving through your system. And as it moves up and through your system and gets to your sacral chakra, that beautiful amber clears away any blocks that are stopping you from accessing your creativity. Working in conjunction with the unconditional love and feeling completely supported, by the unconditional love of Creator all around you. You start to feel your body responding to the amber light. The blocks and barriers that you have absorbed in this lifetime, all lifetimes, dimensions, realities, and non-realities, are now disappearing, being eliminated and eradicated from your body, going up to Creator, to be cleansed and cleared and never to come back to you again. Moving through your sacral chakra, and then contributing all the way up through your body, through to the crown and out to your fingertips. And as the amber light starts to ease off, this beautiful blue light comes in next. Swirls around your feet first. Reminding you of your simple presence on earth, the fact that you put your feet on this beautiful plane is healing. It's healing parts of you, and you are also healing parts of the planet, therefore the universe and your community. The beautiful deep blue light moves up through and around your legs, all the way up through and around your torso, where it dives in deeply into your throat chakra and any associated organs with the throat chakra. Cleansing and clearing out anything that stops you or has stopped you from activating your healing powers. Cleansing, clearing, eliminating, and eradicating any and all energies from all lifetimes, dimensions, realities, and non-realities that has prevented you from being the empowered healer that you truly be. Just giving that a little moment to shift that energy out. You might feel that find that you're yawning or burping. Just let that energy flow. It's just energy releasing. Let it go. And once all of that area, your throat chakra area, is cleansed and cleared, that deep blue energy continues to move up through, past your crown, down your arms to your fingertips, contributing to your entire body, cleansing and clearing any other energies around expressing yourself, whether it be through your craft, working with your hands, working with your mind. Beautiful. The next color that's going to come through is the deep cherry red color. Swirling that around your feet. Allowing it to move up through your ankles. Up your legs to your base chakra. And this cherry red energy is here to invite you to live your most extraordinary life ever. Way beyond your wildest imaginings, whatever that is for you. And as this cherry red color washes away, clears away, burns up, eliminates and eradicates any points of views and belief systems and blocks and barriers that you have absorbed from family, from society, from your friends, in this lifetime or any other lifetime dimension, reality or non-reality. It allows you to feel free and empowered and acknowledging what you truly desire to have in your world. Free of confusion, free of judgment. Just a deep internal knowing, yes, this is the direction I choose to be going in. Yes, I choose this now. Not one day, not someday, now. And now moving that beautiful cherry red energy up through the rest of your body, down your arms to your fingertips, through your throat, up through your head, through to the crown. And as this beautiful cherry red energy moves up and through, you can really feel how that energy contributes to every single part of you, all the way up. Giving you the gift of that deep, delicious energy. The energy of knowing what you truly desire to have in your life. And having the courage, the compassion, the empowerment to actually do it and go for it. This is your year, and this is the time. Beautiful. And now finally, we bring in the beautiful, bright white light of unconditional love, swirling in and around and through the colors of amber and blue and cherry, weaving them all together so they become one big, beautiful, cohesive, contributing energy, light energy for your life this year and for at least this next week. Bringing that beautiful, bright white light of unconditional love, the healing of that unconditional love that is absolutely possible, the knowing of your truth, and also the knowing that it's okay to be light and fun, because that's actually your truth. Life is not supposed to be serious all the time. It is supposed to be big and healthy and delicious and sensual, abundant and joyous. Even in the most challenging moments, there is an abundance wonderful lessons, of heart-opening moments, of fantastic, amazing things for you to gain on your spiritual journey if you're willing to look. What if the only thing we ever saw were the thorns on a rose and never ever looked at the actual rose? The beauty and the fragrance of a rose. What if we limited our perspective so much so that we never ever got to enjoy that? Be aware where you may be doing this in your own life. Enjoying that lovely bright white light energy moving and weaving in and through and around the amber, the blue, and the cherry. Where you can feel your creativity just alive and humming. Where you can feel your healing powers, whatever that is for you, whatever unique way you contribute to the collective, being activated so beautifully, contributing to your big, beautiful, extraordinary life. And give yourself a little hug, thanking your body for being present and alive right now. Because without this particular vessel, you couldn't do any of these things in this lifetime. And now we seal all of that off. A nice little energy break. And zipping up. And now we get to bring those energies all the way with us. Back down through the pink misty clouds, through the rainbow jelly light clouds, all the way down through to your body where these energies are instantaneously integrated. And now imagine that you're standing underneath a big, beautiful waterfall, crystalline waterfall, and the waterfall is flowing over and through you. And any other little energies which have not yet been released are now released into Mother Earth so she can use those energies for something else. And now, stepping out onto the big warm river rock, you feel Mother Earth underneath your feet. Taking a big deep breath in and out. And another big deep breath in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. And breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. Breathing out and bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Beautiful. When you're ready, open your eyes. We've done some lovely healing today. So please take some time, have a little pinch of salt, put it on your mouth, on your tongue, have some water. And I hope you enjoyed that. It was lovely to work with the colors today. Have some fun this week. And have a journal or something nearby, because I get the feeling there's going to be lots of good ideas that are going to come your way. Creative things for you to do. Ways that you can contribute to others or yourself It's not always about everybody else. Sometimes it's actually about you and the way that you can contribute to you in a much better, beautiful way. Oh, that's wonderful, Marit. I'm glad you enjoyed. So get out there, do something yummy for yourself, and I'll see you next week. Until then, be bold, be brave, and be you, my beautiful friends. See you soon.